Hi, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Grippin and Rippin. As always, I'm your host, Dave Wonder. Tonight, I am probably going to be a little low-key, and I might actually dip out pretty quick. I am very, very fried for many reasons. But I wanted to come on here and let you know that nothing's changing here on the channel. It's going to be a place to make the world suck a little bit less and have a lot of fun. So I want to introduce two of my very favorite people in the whole wide world. The third one will be coming along here just shortly. But of course, you have the mad goat himself, the king of the COJ. It's my good friend and yours, Good Rider. Hi, Tony.
What up, everybody?
One of these days, Tony. One of these days.
Oh,
and then joining us from the land of the East, it's our good friend Tim, a.k.a. Toy Chase, a.k.a. the Mayor. What up, boss?
Wow! What's up, everybody? I'm getting ready for Legion's Con, as you can see. So, yeah, we're going to have fun tonight because I got some stuff to open. Let's go.
Oh, right on, right on. I totally spaced on running the giveaways that you sent over, so maybe we'll throw that in on a random Grippin and Rippin sometime.
Yeah, let's do that.
That'd be really cool. Also, before I get too far and before I do dip out, I do want to give a quick shout out to the COJ already chiming off in the chat. Y'all been at it for a minute. We got Fortnite coming in, then we got Shakes the Clone, Esteban, what up, T.O. Mike? How's it going, Mighty Mike, Phantom Crow, Lifelong Toy Collector, 3 and 5,000, Nightmare, Mixie, J-Shot, what up, J-Shot? Welcome, welcome. Shaggy coming in with them sweet, sweet emotes. Pendergast in after that. All the whistly bits from all the whistly folks. And now my... Well, there we go. And there's Captain McKay, too. All right, right on, right on. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you know... Oh, there's Pender. Might be in trouble. Got in a couple Monster Force fix today. Uh-oh. I had someone recently tell me... I think it was Matt. He said, yeah, I picked up one on kind of a whim, and now I'm all in. I'm like, all in? That's a lot of figures.
Well, I'm about to find out tonight.
Oh yeah, nice. I brought one thing down that I got that I don't even know if I'm going to unbox it. I actually got to go pick up Samir from the airport here in about an hour and a half. So, but look, the studio is like, I made it into a guest bedroom for him temporarily. So clubs are coming in and it's
getting there.
Yeah, bit by bit. So, but it looks like a non-war zone. But yeah, I just have the Hot Toys She-Hulk.
Ooh,
as it says.
Nice.
Don't put out. I have that to bust open tonight. But like I said, I don't even know if I'm going to really get into it. But what are you guys gripping and ripping this fine evening?
Oh, go for it, Tony. Nice.
What
you got there?
Oh,
Doctor Who.
Nice.
It's the new one.
Nice.
Ooh, I got some. Got a little Hammerhead action.
Oh,
and we got some. We got a little Halo action, little Halo jumper.
Oh, very cool.
Crack this baby open. And got a little Jada Toys stuff that I got this weekend that I didn't get earlier, but got it now.
Oh, Doll Team, nice. That's a good thing. Oh, and Bison. Those are both amazing figures.
Yeah, so gonna have some fun with this. And what you got there?
Oh, it's Dracula.
Oh, nice. That Monster Force. Yeah, man.
I ended up repainting a Morloon because I had that figure on order, and I'm like, I think I can just make this. And so I repainted it. But yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Dorjes.
No, you know what was cool is that I actually got a chance to see this like months ago, back in December of last year. So because Joan, who actually was at DesignerCon, showed me this before it was just the prototype. So it was awesome just to play with it back then. So now I have it in hand. So here it is. I'm gonna crack this open.
I'll be right back. So
what is going on out there? Mr. Jones, Yoga Fire. Yeah, man, it is definitely yoga fire, bro. We're definitely gonna do some serious yoga with this. I popped this sucker open. And I am looking forward to Legion's Con this weekend. A lot going on leading up to it. So we had I'm just been shouting out everybody. If anybody's noticed on my streams on Instagram, it's gonna be fun. So Legion's Con, it's gonna be a blast this weekend.
And hailed like a piece of drywall or something. That was intense. I don't know. It was bad. Oh, there he is. Oh, I don't know if he's actually there or if he froze. Oh, there we go. Hi, Mr. Geeky.
Oh, hello. I'm just randomly placing this thing behind me. How's everybody doing today?
Been better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. Captain McKay says both those Jadas are great.
Yeah.
Tony, does it do more than just the things pop open?
I opened that. I opened that other M Bison, didn't I? I think I'm marathon.
Yeah. You opened up there in the marathon.
Holy moly! Yeah, that was that was just a few days ago, and my mind is mush.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I got some fun Sonic stuff I brought in today.
Oh,
in attempt to not.
You're just baiting Mr. Jones.
I know, right? I don't know. It's here. If this looks interesting to talk about. Amy, which one is Amy?
That's a stormy girl.
This guy I've been wanting to open for a long time, just because he's like such a awesome beast.
That's a big chunk of plastic.
I know nothing about him, but I'm like, this would look so cool with some of my other characters on the shelf. This is like, I only saw him once ever in the store. So
right on. Tony, do you want to say hi? No, you're just gonna be again.
You Stormy. I figured, you know what? There's a couple Super 7 that I've been kind of just waiting for a while to get open. And, you know what?
Tony.
I need some smiles. We're going to open up Donnie today.
Oh, very cool.
And, yeah.
Scratch.
Nice. Those glowy boys are still some of my favorites.
Yeah. Did they make Scratch a glow too? I think, right?
Mr. Jones. There has been leaked images of a Scratch, but it hasn't come up for order yet.
Okay, so that was not just Wingnut and Screw Loose. Okay.
Yeah. Tim, I saw someone take all those backdrops and put the figures, like pose them in them, and that's how they had them displayed on a bookshelf.
Oh, that's cool.
It was so good.
Yeah, I love this packaging too. This is like some spot on. I mean,
that is the only packaging I saved from them. I actually tossed out all the rest of it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it'll make a great background too, right? I mean,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's go.
Mr. Geeky, what's that big yellow star figure on your shelf?
Big yellow. Oh, that's Badgie from Lower Decks.
Lower Decks.
Which the Star Trek Lower Decks.
Stormy is get down.
One of my all-time favorite shows. It is. I don't know how many other folks in the audience like here have watched that, but it's.
I love Lower Decks.
Yeah, that's one of those shows that I bank for like when I need a good laugh, because it's just like every episode is just like boom, boom, boom. You know.
Yeah, just Pete and repeat.
Good. Yeah. That's great.
Mr. Jones says, sucks that the first time we're getting Froggy will be the Metal Virus Sonic as far as the Jax line goes. Oh, that's a bummer.
Well, but here's the thing. I mean, I wonder if because it's Jax, right? I feel like we're going to get Froggy again.
Oh, probably. I'm sure multiple times and in a holiday gift box. And
yeah, of course. They make great reuse of their stuff. As an example, my 78 Marios.
Yeah.
Dinner.
Sweet. How were the earrings on yours? Mine were like super loose. I had to take a little pliers to them
Really?
to clasp them. I mean, it
They
wasn't
are.
bad.
No, they're actually tight.
Nice.
Yeah, they're on there, boy.
Yeah, mine was a little loose.
Such a cool figure, dude.
Yeah,
It
just
does
feels great too. I mean, just like, yeah, man, this figure is awesome. Yeah, I got a chance to meet up with June in DesignerCon last December in Anaheim, and he just pulled this out and he was like, "Don't take any pictures."
The June roll.
Yeah,
that was
because the
that
first
was
thing
at,
I did, yeah, it was like,
that was at
Yeah.
San
Yeah.
Diego.
I hear ya.
At San Diego, he was just like, "Oh yeah, let me open the case for you." I'm like,
I love how it's like such a generational thing too. I love how we will do like the clicking, no, like the old style click, as if we
Yeah.
like we actually still had a camera.
yeah.
And I don't know. It's like click click. I don't think generations after us know what that even is.
Oh, phones make the sound at least.
But
totally
the
show
motion,
my age,
like
right?
the this motion, you know.
No, it's true.
Show that gray, baby. Show the gray.
It's silver, Tim. It's silver.
It is. It's crazy. It's
My dad
like a
used to say-
fox.
Yeah, I was gonna say my dad used to say, makes you a silver fox.
Look at that! It's like what? That's such a glow.
I
That's great.
I just
That
looked up
is,
on I looked
yeah.
up on the shelf where I had those, and I forgot that they are still packed.
Dude, it's like having the slime without needing the slime. That's great.
Those
You know
are
what I was-
over there.
I was actually thinking about like opening up my. I literally have the Lego set of Star Wars, but the Death Star,
Oh,
and
That's
it's
cool.
sitting in a box back there for like the longest because I'm so used to just grabbing my figures, and I never really mess around with the Lego sets. But I'm about to crack that sucker open and just go at it and just put them behind me just so everybody could get a gander.
are you gonna build the whole thing, or is it already built?
I am.
Or is you?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I started it 5 years ago, and I just put it away because I had moved at the time. Decided, you know what?
Oh, thank you.
Now I'm like, everybody's pulling out these Lego sets, and I'm like, you know what? I got that itch. Now I gotta scratch the Lego itch. So, but once you get going, sometimes next thing you know, you got like 20 sets behind me. But yeah, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah. Well, it's happy place, right? I mean, you
Yeah.
can just zen out and just build and then your mind goes elsewhere, and you come back and you're like, oh, where did this come from?
We all need that right now.
Yeah.
So this was one that I have been a big old She-Hulk fan for friggin' ever. And when the show came out, I was like, there's no way it's going to be as good as like the Burn Run or this. And I was wrong. It was really freaking good. This is incredible.
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
And she's huge. I don't have another 12-inch figure out right now. I don't think.
Yeah, the scale, right? It has to be
Yeah,
about
she's
what,
one.
like
Here I have
like
I have
16,
huge.
maybe 16 inches.
Yeah, I think so. I have Mando. So
Well,
Yeah.
Stay Puff, man. I mean, that's
Mhm.
how does she level up to Stay Puff back there?
the Stay Puft is up to his head almost. Or base of his head.
That's fun.
But that's right. Gonna knock everything over every time. Readjusting to the space. Dave, is the Diamond Select Mr. Stay Puft bank? No, this one is actually the San Diego Comic Con exclusive Maddie Collector Gozer. Yeah, that's one one. So I got that sucker at Goodwill like a million years ago, and it was one of those things that when I saw the box, I was like, no way.
What?
And then I opened, yeah.
What?
Someone had I don't know, either someone pissed
that's
off
bananas.
someone or what, but
What? That's
it was there, and I was very excited.
quite a find.
Finally.
So someone watching. Oh, is that what that was? Whoops.
It was definitely one of those things of like when I found it, I was like, no, it's probably just the box or something, and they put something in it. But no, it was indeed what it said it was, which was surprising because I think I got it for under $50. No. Stay over there, because you're wearing underwear.
Ooh, that's
right. The hand though, the hand makes me like gives me that ET vibe right there. I'm just like,
Is this is this 6-inch? Yeah, it is. It's
Black Series.
Yep.
I don't even think I knew that guy came out.
It's a little scale action with this.
Rad.
And to give you what this looks like next to Valiant Knight.
Dang.
Oh wow.
So is that where'd you pick that one up on Big Bad or where?
I actually was at the Wayne Toy Show here in New Jersey last weekend,
how'd that go?
and it was fun. It was fun. Not as busy as we would have liked, but yeah, man, that's awesome. Oh my God, she looks great. Dave, that's
rad.
She said, yeah, no, the show was okay. I think you know what it is, being here in Jersey. Yes. Being here in Jersey, we're all getting ready for Legion's Con. So with Legion's coming literally 1 week later, everybody was just like, it was okay, but you could just tell like everybody's just gearing their money up toward that, but not me. I was like, here, I'll take one of those. Let me get one of these. Let me get one of those. Let me get two of these.
I don't know what you're talking about. What is that 1/6 behind you in the blue shirt? There is no 1/6 scale figure behind me in a blue shirt. Dude, who has a 1/6 scale figure in a blue shirt?
1/6.
Are you talking?
Not behind me. Everything else is 1/12 scale behind me.
The blue shirt and white pants. It's not in frame.
Oh, is there something over to the side? Is it the thing that's like hanging on the wall? Maybe.
I'm thinking.
Oh, the Stay Puff.
Yeah, either the Stay
Puff.
Stay Puff is.
I'm wondering if he's talking about the Gorillas figure.
He's like, it moved. We both read it. Perfect.
Yeah, Kyra, Slim. This is intense. I think we still have one left at Richfield. I'm not positive, but yeah, this is insane.
This is such a cool.
Dude, I am digging the feet on this too.
Oh, I see. Makes sense. Hi, Chum Bucket. How's it going? I will say that one, like those turtles don't glow for anything unless you put a black light on them. Like other than
this
that,
is glowing right. Oh, you're saying actual glow?
Yeah.
I mean, this is
plastic.
You just put on the light though, and it looks like it's glowing.
Wow.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. And the thing is, the scale on this, I mean, the scale is great, but the head is completely different than what they previously released. So there was Disney, there was the Disney one that came out that he had like the robe, and you could only get that at Disneyland parks.
Nice.
The head is completely different than that one.
Oh,
so
really?
If you have that figure, the head is completely different. I thought they were just going to use that figure and just, take that off and add this on and boom. No, completely different. So if you have that figure, just keep that in mind, guys. But loving it. I mean, Star Wars near and dear, and yeah, that's my bread and butter.
Do you have a favorite? Is there a favorite film or a favorite series for you for Star Wars?
It's Empire Strikes Back. The thing is, I always have this story, right? When back in '77, I was 6, by the way. I got a chance to watch it in the movie theater with my parents and my brother and my sister who are older than me. And my dad, after the movie was done and we were all like giddy, right? My father went out and he literally was like, you know what? Sit here and wait. And the movie had just finished and they were already starting to clean up. And we're talking 1977. And my dad was like, just stay here. And he went and did some Godfather, made a deal and made them an offer they couldn't refuse. And my dad came back and was like, "We're fine. We're going to watch it again."
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. You're like,
Yeah,
I have to
right?
go to the bathroom.
Chum Bucket, I tossed
hours.
okay, there we go. I tossed the address in there. That Hammerhead always. Oh, Dave Wonder, what shall we see this weekend? All kinds of goodies. The table is going to be stacked. I got a reprint of a book that's been out of print for 10 years. In Mindwave Comics Presents. That's going to be debuting. I got an album, a physical album that I did the artwork for with my buddy Nerdy and Chaz. And they will be there signing, I believe, Friday and Saturday at least. And then,
Nice.
it's going to be wild. A couple new prints that haven't been available before. So I'll have Ultimo Dragon and Jushin Thunder Liger there that are actually like not fan art. They're licensed. I made them for them and got the approval to actually do like copies and sell them. So that's neat. I won't have it done in time, but I'm working on one of Bull Nakano right now, which is really neat. Mixie says, Dave, you doing Legions Con? If so, forgot a lot has happened. No, I am doing Twin Cities Con at the Minneapolis Convention Center. I will be there with my good buddy Samir, the other half of Mindwave Comics, which is actually one reason why I'm actually going to hop off here in just a minute. I'm going to throw it over to Tony to run the show. But I don't know what that face was, but all right, now I'm. I think.
Well, I love that we're only a year apart in age. It seems he was like, I was 7, and Mr. Jones was like, I was 2.
Yeah. Oh, what? I wrote on here when Phantom Menace came out. It was senior year in my high school. My buddy walked out and said, "I can't believe they killed Darth Maul in front of everyone in line."
Spoilers.
Oh, what bastards!
I guess I'm not seeing that one. There's no need to see that one anymore.
So you whip out the lightsaber and you take off an arm.
Just what? And I remember seeing that for the first time. I got to go see it at midnight with my brother, but I went to go see it. I think it was on Tuesday before it came out because he worked for a movie theater. And episode 1. It was one over off of France Avenue, over in Edina.
Okay, it's okay. I was just trying to see if we were at the same theater, like free. Because I saw I got a preview screening on that one too.
Yeah, he was managing that one at the time, and he was like, "You want to go see Star Wars?" I'm like, "Yeah, when?" He's like, "Tonight." I'm like, "It's Tuesday." He's like, "Yep, tonight." I'm like, My parents let me go out, so it was pretty damn cool. That was a big deal. Shaggy says, "I forgot to message you about those prints. Can I still get them?" Yes, Shaggy. I'll. Do you want one of both or whatnot? I'll set them aside for you, and I'll just PM me if I don't PM you first.
I love it. That it was -7, sorry, and a -2, so that's great.
Well, it's close enough. In the grand scheme of things, what is? Never mind.
Well,
holy shit, Tony!
Phantom Menace came out 99. That is so cool, Tony.
That's
for real.
Yeah,
those hands look huge.
I'm glad
too.
that
It's
I just realized that I had my mic off.
I was wondering.
Couple issues.
Did you heat them up?
Well, I haven't gotten to that part yet. I will though after, because I don't have a thing. The hips are completely locked. Like,
oh dang,
completely.
What up, forgiven?
I can get it and get the pivot, or not pivot, but spin. Everything up top seems to be locked up. But the biggest
what's
you got 2 left feet.
Yep.
Right feet.
It's well.
You got 2 of the same.
The feet are fine. It's actually the ankles. So I should this piece right here is wrong. Obviously, that should be on the inside. But
yeah. Can you rotate it?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. They are the exact same piece.
Where'd you end up getting it from?
BBTS.
Oh, so at least you could message them and be like, "Hey."
And then it's got these weird, like, if you look at the top piece there, you can see that it's like.
Oh yeah, that's weird. Well, that's probably because of the gap created by it not being the right size.
No, there's like a definitive, like a split in the plastic.
Did you, when you had opened yours, did you keep it with the original head, or did you put on the like, "Hey guys, I hope no one noticed I just farted" face?
I think mine has the original head on now. I know I definitely switched mine back and forth a few times because when I first got it, I was like, "Oh, I want to try and swap the head," and I'm like, "I can't get this off." Like I couldn't get it off.
It was too to warm it.
Yeah, it was on there so tight. I was like, "Oh no."
Okay.
And I thought I was gonna break the damn thing. So it was one of those that I was like, I will just use this head.
So I just started watching. This just reminded me of the DuckTales that came out recently for some reason.
Yeah.
Because it's a bag of gold.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and it's a money sign on there. My son was like, "You need to watch the new DuckTales." I'm like, like I was like dragging my feet because I love the original DuckTales. And I was like, I don't know if I want to watch it. I don't know if it's gonna.
It's so good.
It's really good. I like it a lot. That's but like, I mean, there's things that kind of like are throwing me, like Launchpad's voice, for instance, and like I love the voice actor. The voice actor is great, but it's like I'm listening to him like. I'm like, who? First, I had to like realize who it was. I was like, this sounds so familiar. It was the guy. It's like the guy from SNL, I think.
Yeah, that's you just said that. You could say that for pretty much 90% of the cast.
True.
And David Tennant.
Right, but that was the thing. I was like, is Andy Samberg in this? Because it sounds like Andy Samberg, but it wasn't. It was like the other. I think they swap them because they have a similar voice. But then I got upset.
Daniel Pudi and Bobby Moynihan and David Tennant.
Bobby Moynihan and the voice of Sonic, right? Ben Schwartz is in there too. He's the voice of Dewey.
The voice of Sonic will forever be Jaleel White.
Well, all right, but like the movie Sonic, right? So it's the same voice actor who did movie Sonic, who did Leonardo for Rise, and who did Dewey. So it's he's all over the place. But he's voiced a lot of iconic characters.
Yeah. Always love the original, right? Like, you know, that little like the tune just pops in my brain. Like as soon as I'm like DuckTales, woo! I'm like, yeah, all right, just everybody's.
The updated one is really good. Ah, Jesus, that's a big boy. But I like the new one. Kind of feels like the 2012 Turtles to me. Of like, it takes everything that I love about the original and takes everything that I love about the different like media outlets for it and made something absolutely incredible. God, that's so cool. That doll seems gotta be like, the funny thing is I look at that doll scene and I'm like, why can't we get this for Mr. Fantastic?
Right? Oh man. Come on, Hasbro.
So yeah, you have David Tennant as Scrooge McDuck, Ben Schwartz as Dewey, Danny Pudi as Huey, Bobby Moynihan as Louie, Kate Micucci as Webby, Beck Bennett as Launchpad, Keith Ferguson as Flintheart Glomgold.
Wait, who's it for? Who's Glomgold?
Keith Ferguson. He's a voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild. Lin-Manuel Miranda as Fenton.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great cast, and I mean, like as I'm going through, I'm only like a handful of episodes in, but even in those handful of episodes, it's like here's a lot of deep cuts that are coming my way, and like you got me.
Yeah, dude, That show got going on a clip where it was like it was so good, and when it ended, it was one of those where you're like, "That's it? What?
Well,
No."
because it was supposed to spin off. I mean, from my understanding, it was supposed to spin off into Darkwing Duck that never
Darkwing Duck,
came. Yeah, right. But they teased it, right? Like that I'd never seen the original of this until, I'm sorry, not the original, the original, new original, right? I hadn't seen this in its, from the beginning. Years ago, I remember my son showing me. He's like, "Look who's here!" And I was like, before he even told me, I'm like, "Darkwing's here," and he's like, "It's Darkwing." I'm like, "Yeah, all right,
nailed it.
Good boy." Good. You know me too well. But yeah, so I mean, like, I've wanted to see this for a long time, especially when I knew like that was coming into the mix. But it's more frustrating because like Rescue Rangers was trying to bring back Darkwing also, and I don't understand the hesitation. I'm like, there's such a love for Darkwing, and so to me, the idea of like, why is this not back, right?
I will say,
I don't know.
The other thing that I know that definitely got crapped on, but I love them, is the toys from that DuckTales series. Because they were out for a minute, and like I kind of hemmed and hawed on them, and I think I got those figures for $2 a piece, like a month after they came out. Like they just clearanced the crap out of them. So I got quite literally every single one of them. And it's not the Sea Duck, it's the
fun.
What's the name of the plane? It's Launchpad's plane. It's not the Sea Duck. It's
Quack, something Quack.
Yeah,
no, it's just like something Quack, right? It's the
hold on.
I get confused because he also flew Darkwing's.
Was the Thunder Quack?
The
Thunder Quack.
No, not Launch Quack. Thunder Quack. Yeah.
Thunder Quack.
Yeah. On DuckTales, I don't know.
The Sun Chaser.
What I have in my head is I love. What is it?
The Sun Chaser.
The what?
The Sun Chaser. Sun Chaser.
Yeah, is that
You're not
true?
good?
I don't. That seems not.
That's what the toy was called.
That doesn't sound right. I don't remember it ever being called that. Okay. I mean, I'll take it, but that doesn't sound right to me. The Sun Chaser?
The ship. Yeah. Right? The ship itself.
Okay. I mean, okay, but was it called that in the original too?
I don't think it was called anything in the original. I think in the original it was just called the plane.
So back in the day, there was the show called Riptide, I believe it was, and they had that like basically the same type of plane that landed on water, and it was sort of like a situation of like Indiana Jones meets like the guy with the water plane, but the only thing I can bring myself back to is when in Indiana Jones, when he's running and he gets in the plane and Reggie's got his pet snake, or his pet snake is Reggie. But other than that, that's where the only time you see like Indiana Jones in one of those. Well, I'm not true. Actually,
so in the original, he had another plane called the Joyrider.
The Joyrider.
I don't remember it being called that either.
In the original cartoon, it's called the Joyrider.
Well, so in the original, they had the Suncatcher and they had the Joyrider, and they were both biplanes. So, I don't know. I just looked it up. Mr. Jones says Riptide is a throwback. The Thunderquack was the plane from Darkwing Duck.
Yeah. This is fun.
Pendergast says, "Oh boy, just thought that there's a new Mythic Legions wave revealed / pre-order this Friday. I hope it's awesome and that I don't need any of it." Oh yeah, they're revealing that at Con.
So yeah, it's sort of like with this guy right here. So at Legions Con, right? They literally introduced this figure at last year's Legions Con. So when they did that, it was literally during the con, and it just came out of nowhere, and bang, this was available, sold out so quickly. And
but it's kind of the same thing that they had happen at PowerCon too. They announced that new Cosmic Legions wave.
Huh. I don't remember them announcing it and it being like there. But Michael Taylor asked Mr. Geeky, did you see the collector's edition of Shadow with Wings?
With what? Say that again.
With
what?
Shadow with wings.
Shadow with wings
from Sonic.
It's
like a deluxe Shadow that's coming out that's got wings.
No, did that just get revealed?
I don't know.
No,
I
saw
a
bit ago. I think I've got the picture. I think pretty sure the good old Mr. Jones sent it to me.
Okay.
It's possible Mr. Jones sent it to me too. I'm trying to my mind. I just saw like the 4-pack the other day, right? So I think the Target had that, which was fun. It's like the light up pieces to them.
Yeah. Sorry, Tulips just chimed in. I was 7 and loved that my dad's initials were also DWD. My initials are DW. So I was head over heels with that. And on that note, I am actually going to call it because I need to run upstairs and empty out the car and get that ready and everything. But I will be back Monday. Please. Sorry. What, Geeky? You guys are gonna stay. I'm just gonna go. Tony's gonna take over the stream.
Yes.
I was just gonna ask you. I mean, can we call you if there's trouble?
I mean, yeah.
When there's trouble, you call DW.
Yes. you can always call and count on me, I guess. But I'm gonna get out of here. So yeah, I will be back Monday. But please be good, be kind. Much love from Minnesota. Have fun with the boys, y'all. See ya. Be-doop.
Excellent.
You're waiting. You're like,
yeah, I suppose I'm gonna need to take a picture here of this thing so I can send it off to them and hopefully get a replacement of some sort.
We're talking about the ankle stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate, especially since they made a big deal about it. They pushed it off for as long as they did because lordy. I thought I just broke something there. I don't understand why.
I'll take this later. So excited for this.
That's loose collector, right?
Yeah.
Tony? Yeah.
I never had the original Scratch, like when I was growing up. So like this has been like sat there staring at this thing for a long time, and I'm just like, am I good? I think I'm good just looking at it, and I'm opening it and I'm playing with it now, and I'm like, no, I should have opened this earlier. It's a really fun figure.
The original one is going for about what, $2,000, 2,000 and change.
Yeah, like, if it's mint in box and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I figured I was never going to have an original, so that was out of the running.
I got my Top Gun vibe going on.
Those are cool. Did you just get the one, or did you get all of them?
No, so far I got just the one, but I got like multiples of this one because I even want to do some paint on these guys. But somebody was actually showing off. What was it? Who was showing that off? I think it was Mr. Jones. Was it Mr. Jones that was showing off that pilot? Like, or was it somebody during the
stream?
During the stream that we did the marathon, was it? What was fun about that day? It was like all of us were just pulling out everything out of nowhere. I came out and like I pulled out a hot toy, had this huge box. But
I wasn't here. I may have been here last episode.
Was it Trevor 1/6 shooter? Remember he pulled out like the space balls? Like
yeah.
Oh my god, that they were crazy. had me literally put the movie on.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Space
Well,
Force,
there's
the
one that had
movie.
the crumpled. It was like crumpled head, like helmet, and it was like it had me flummoxed because I was like, how do I get these? It's like
I know
these are mine.
I'm gonna see him this weekend. I'll be literally like pulling his arm, like, okay, all right, I need to find this damn box now. I need it, like, give me. I need to put my grubby hands all over it. But seriously, man, what was it? It literally had the hair blower. Remember her huge monster hair blower?
Yeah,
Had that in there.
Crazy.
I loved it. Oh my god.
Oh, it's great.
The John Candy barf.
Yep.
Right.
So now that I have started taking things apart to put it back in the box, I have now noticed that there is a neck peg, and I don't know. Let me see here. I don't know if you'll be able to see how. Let me see. There we go.
Nice.
So you see how that plastic is stressed around the ball there?
Yeah. So
yeah, I can't.
So you're nervous about that?
I can't get that to move at all. It is like totally frozen.
Wait till later. Hit that thing with some heat. Boil it. What have you?
Oh, I mean,
that
with the way that it is now, I'm just going to return it and get a new one.
And Mr. Jones is correct. It was actually Mega J. So yeah. Yes. So yeah, he showed it off last week.
So Mr. Jones, tell me about Big a little bit, because on the back, I'm like, usually I look at the back, I'm like, it tells me a little bit until like I say it, and then you're like, no, that's super wrong. So here's what his back says, but it tells me literally nothing other than it's, though a gentle giant, Big is not afraid to fight for his friends if they are in danger. What else do I need to know about this character? I assume is this like their version of the Freedom Fighters? Without, because they can't use the original, even though maybe they can use it and they're just I don't know if without going into the person of why, can you tell me more about what the story is with Big, other than the fact that he looks freaking awesome, and then I am gonna like having him up behind me in a minute. So
we need Mr. Jones to give us a hand on that one. He's actually mentioning a couple of things right now.
Says Big the Cat used to have the same voice actor as Duke Nukem from the Duke Nukem games.
Oh, that's fun.
Big the Cat was basically, you're gonna play Sega bass fishing whether you want to or not when Sonic Adventure hits the Dreamcast.
Hits the Dreamcast, yeah.
It's funny.
You know, he reminds me of the Junkyard
Snorlax.
No, okay. Do you remember? It was like Riff Raff, and like he had those the couple cats that were with him. This guy reminds me of like a full version of.
He's the muscle. He's the muscle behind him, right?
If I were if I had the customizing talent, that is who I would make him in my head. So, I mean, that's who he'll be behind me. I'm like, good. I'm gonna have the.
Well, you can't help but miss him, right? He's just gonna stand out. It's perfect.
Yeah. Well, right. Boss Fight is getting out those cool Garfield figures. I don't know if you've seen those, right?
I know.
Garfield
And Odie I totally pre-ordered those right away.
Yeah. And so this is like, okay, then I'll have the expansion of that with Big, is whatever that character's name is.
Oh, Mongo from Cadillac Cats. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Yes. Mr. Jones said that too. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, he said that basically he always reminded him of him, especially the fact that he's purple and it has that similar voice.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys catch that during the marathon stream? Kyle was talking about that we might speak. Duke Nukem reminds me of the character in Captain Planet. The name, at least, right?
Well, yeah, Duke Nukem. That was
yeah. So, and he was hinting at the fact that there might be Captain Planet coming. Did you guys catch that?
That there might be what?
Captain Planet coming. This was not. This is. He's like, this is not confirmed, but this is like there could be Captain Planet.
From who?
Super 7.
Oh,
well,
You know, I mean,
it's.
It wouldn't surprise me if you know if
I would.
If Brian's got the
definitely not the company I would have picked.
Nah, I mean, they've been doing a great. The Toxic Avengers stuff has been great.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the nostalgia properties like that, right? They've been doing a good job with it. I could see them doing a really good job with the Captain Planet stuff too.
That Biggie figure, like that Biggie Smalls, like they murdered that figure. Like that's probably the best Super 7 I've ever seen. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm sorry if people are like love some of the stuff, but no, I gotta also give it to like the Thundercats as well, even though it was pretty much already done by Mattel, but still, like I love that line.
I always feel like
they've done some great expansion
of their like real life head sculpts, like real people are just never as good as they could be. It's like I don't know who they've got sculpting them, but they're like the softest like head sculpts ever. But that's me.
Yeah, there's like for instance, got huge news today with Bandai releasing the fact that they're coming out with the Lord of the Rings line. Did you see that?
No,
yeah,
I missed that.
Oh yeah,
That's cool.
So it's just an outline of two figures.
I'm guessing
you could tell. Yeah,
I'm guessing it's Frodo and Aragorn are probably the first two.
I agree.
My concern is I would love that, but Bandai is so non-committal to lines. A prime example was their Harry Potter line. They did Harry, Hermione, Ron, and Snape, and that was it. And it's like you guys could have made like easily like 30 more characters.
Yeah.
And as much as I would love these Lord of the Rings figures, I don't know if I'll buy them, because if I'm not going to at least get the core Fellowship and then like Gollum and Saruman and Arwen and Elrond and Galadriel and like the main characters that have impact, I don't want to dip my toes into it.
What do you think is the reasoning for why they didn't expand in when you're talking about Harry Potter, for instance?
I think it just it's sales related, because if you went into a lot of like they were located in Barnes and Nobles, you could find them anywhere, and they weren't moving. If you notice, like I remember years ago going in and you would see the same Star-Lord, you would see that same Doctor Strange, and right next to it you would see all those Harry Potter figures, and I mean all of them.
And I think if they were to go back today and start doing Harry Potter again, they'd sell like hotcakes. I think it was too.
Oh, was this early on?
You just didn't have that adult market yet, and now you would, because everybody that grew up watching it is an adult. So
they just didn't say Leviosa as they put them on the shelf to make a move.
I mean, I've only got one. I've got the Snape right here, and it's a really good figure. But again, it's no different like with Mafex. They did Newt and they did Grindelwald, and that was it.
Well, I mean, that line looks so good though. Like when you seen all three of them together, and then they came with their owls. They came with like just perfection when you just looked at them. But if you have it on your shelf to this day, and anybody that has them, like it's one of those little centerpieces that are off to the side. Yeah, and if anybody can grab them, they may re-release them. It all depends on the licensing. Do they still have it?
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to just reissue that out?
Yeah.
But I'm actually excited about the Lord of the Rings line. Even if it's just a few characters, I'll take it. I don't know why I need them. I need them.
It's just so hard for me because I want to be able to collect a whole line of them and not have to worry that I'm going to get Frodo and Aragorn and Gimli and Gandalf, and that's it. You know,
I think that's always the hope, right? I mean, it's just like you're not going to start a line only to have it like end prematurely, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think part of that and part of like I feel like it's about folks buying them, right? Yeah. So like a good way to make sure that you're going to get the rest of that line is like support it as much as you can, as you know, it's going. And
the thing was, I feel like if they wouldn't have started at year one, I think they might have been a little bit more successful, because it was kind of like just on the tail end of like the last couple movies when they were released. And you know, like with the Lord of the Rings stuff right now, it's like Lord of the Rings is as hot as it was back when when the Toy Biz stuff was coming out. You know, now that we've got the anime and we've got the new Rings of Power, and then we know that we've got a Gollum movie coming, and there's all this stuff. It's it's kind of like the concept of Warhammer. Warhammer's never been hotter than it is right now.
Dude, be fun would be a Lord of the Rings Zelda mashup. Is that? I mean, that's in my mind. I'm just like, wouldn't that be fun to see like somehow interacting in Hyrule, right?
That's why the Legions stuff has been so amazing, because the Legions gave us like that kind of that Lord of the Rings feel to everything. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, and that's why it became a love affair with the Legions. But still, I want those characters. And mind you, they will not be up to scale with. Like, don't get me wrong, you could fudge some of that Legions within something like that, but still, it won't be nowhere up to scale with that. But still, just the overall look, because for me, I have all the Star Wars, like Bandai. I have them all. And yet, I need more. Like, and that they showed so many other, like, Bandai Star Wars figures that for years, and they never released them. Never.
Just Bandai in general. They didn't do... for SHF, they didn't do either the Groot or the Rocket from the first movie, or the Groot from the second movie, or no, the third movie. No, Infinity War. Sorry. And these were all prototypes that they've seen. They had Coulson. I mean, there's well, they didn't do the Winter Soldier. They didn't do the first movie Star-Lord. These are all ones that they showed off, and they never released them.
They've never released that first Star-Lord, even though I love that second one that they did for Volume 2. But and if you have the little baby version of Baby Groot from our Marvel Legends line, if you do a little work on the eyes, you could actually make that figure look even just as good, because the SHF, he can hold them right in his hand, and he looks fantastic.
Yeah.
So
it just sucks because it's all stuff that they showed off. I mean, I know that there's probably a bunch of the Star Wars ones too that they showed off but never put out. I mean, we're getting a re-release, sort of re-release of the Attack of the Clones Yoda, or Revenge of the Sith Yoda, or whatever it is now, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is great for the collectors, because damn, that Yoda, he's like $200 if he's
nice,
or more if he's brand new.
Yeah. I mean, and I got him right over here, and mind you, I literally, when it comes to Bandai is one of my loves. I have like in a addiction for them. But I also love my Mafex collection. But when it comes to like the Star Wars stuff, it's Bandai. And when it comes to my MCU, it's Bandai. It's Bandai because they did so many of the figures. Don't get me wrong, I love the Mafex figures as well, but man, like,
Yeah.
By the way,
Yes.
I am with you, Michael Acevedo. I'm waiting for that dwarf set as well, and Darth Nexus, definitely, man. You just mentioned that as well. Like, what was it?
Yeah, the Vision. They showed off both versions of Vision from WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like why no Drax? You know, we got Gamora, we got Nebula, we got Star-Lord, we got Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess technically they did do the Volume 3 Rocket and Star-Lord together.
Yeah.
But I think that is that Rocket? Is he like a slug figure? Or is he actually articulated?
He's articulated from that 2-pack.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
They're wearing the suits.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I knew the first one that they did for Volume 2. I knew that one. He had, or I guess it.
Well, he had that like orange
War
jumpsuit, right? For the first
SHF
SHF
they didn't
release.
Do that.
Mm-hmm.
But they did do the blue jumpsuit from Volume
Marvel
2.
Legends, right?
No, SHF.
The SHF.
Yeah, they did a regular released. Yeah, but they never did the orange suit.
Yeah, I get confused sometimes with the Marvel Legends because I was using that for a while, but man, if you got the SHF, there's something special just about them.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, like, man, yeah, I can start bringing stuff over here. Show you guys. I got a lot. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But Kiki, what was that Rosario?
No, this is Clone Wars.
That's not
Ahsoka.
the Rosario one. That's so that was the Clone Wars, right?
Mm-hmm. And this is
that was hard to find. That was actually a release by
Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah,
that was
a Walmart release.
It was her, the Ahsoka troopers, the Mandalorian Super Commando, and the Death Watch Mandalorian too.
So yeah, it was the Darth Maul, right? Mandalorian, and then there was the Loyalist Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And then there was that Ahsoka, and then what was the other one? There was one more. I'm just forgetting what it is, but yeah, man, it's crazy because I literally have every single Star Wars figures that ever released.
I'm still really, really upset that they made that the Yoda and Gree 2-pack. And as exclusive as it was, because I have been waiting for that Black Series Yoda, and I'm not going to have it now. I'm sure it'll get re-released, but
it'll either get re-released or I mean, we just got to come across it because that thing is awesome too. But if you got the SH Figure Arts set or the one that's actually coming, because that's going to be the key, and especially the fact that it has the soft goods. Nice.
So, yeah. So I mean, I am like for how you are for Empire. I'm like all the cartoons, right? I mean, I loved Empire too. I loved all the originals, right? But it's like the cartoon series, like Clone Wars and Rebels, right? Those were like gimme, right? Because I thought the animation was phenomenal. I thought the stories were really fun and like such world building components to them. So to me, like when Ahsoka came out and when like they were reintroducing a lot of these characters, I was like, yeah.
Oh, somebody just pointed out, it was the clone trooper with the orange face, which is the Ahsoka trooper from episode 7, right? Episode 7 of Clone Wars. So yeah, man, which was an excellent episode. Oh my god, like just to go into those, but I mean, for anybody like that's you could not watch a lot of the previous stuff and just watch season 7, and it's just epic.
It's a great series to start. This is like what I got my kids starting watching Star Wars on, was like, watch this, get into it, and then we'll move on to the other stuff too, because like it's an easy migration, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys watch Bad Batch too? Did that?
Yeah.
I haven't
Yeah.
watched the full series of that yet. I watched like the first season, and there was like I don't want to spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen it, but
Those figures were like after a while, like Crosshair as well as the Hunter was like really hard to find at one point. Like if you didn't get on those right away, they were gone. And to think like Big Bad like was able to re-release a lot of that stuff, well, Hasbro in general. But I mean, thank goodness for a lot of collectors that want to just dive in. A lot of that stuff is available now, so it's great because like there was a time where you really had to hunt this stuff down, and if not, you were paying like triple the price.
Did you even were you getting the comic related characters too, like 000 and
I got the originals like from when they first came out, and I was able to get those, but that like I have so much that it's gotten to the point where I have to reorganize everything. I have my whole toy room is out of control. I feel like I'm like Dave right now. I'm just putting my whole like toy room back together again. It's crazy. I'm scared to show you over there, so you'll be like, "What the hell, Tim?" Like, it's like the Mad Hoarder meets like toy craze. It's everywhere.
I get it. you're talking to the same crowd here. I mean,
I also do toy shows, so I also vend. I also sell like action figures, and a lot of times it's also giving back to the community because I try to. If I'm going to sell something, I try not to, rip somebody off in that sense. Like I'll try to give them a better deal. Or if anything, like I've sold Mayfex figures for $60, and people are like, wow, like, oh, thank you, But if I have extras and I got the use out of it, like for me, it's also giving back. Yeah.
Mixie. I don't have a clue, man. More knights, more dwarves, more.
Well, I love the homage. The homage characters like Motu, right? So like those are to me. I mean, I feel like those are usually for the all stars, right? But it's but I still like to me is like that's always a treat, right? When I see it, I'm like, I see what they did there, right? It's like and then ultimately I'm picking those up. So what I'm hoping to see from Legions, I mean, whatever they show off, I'm sure is going to be fantastic because it always is.
Oh yeah, I think so.
But those are the things that kind of speak to me, right? Or like any of those homage, any of those deep cuts where it's like, okay, I see what you're trying. Like it's like it's like when AWOC was doing this with their not Beastman, right? I'm like, I'm getting 12, thank you. I mean, it's just that's I'm an easy mark on that front. It's where if I see the color scheme that seems familiar to me, it's like cool.
Yeah.
I know this is going to fit into my collection nicely. So, yeah.
Somebody was asking, what am I going to look forward to seeing at Legions? First of all, I think they're going to show off the dragon. I think they're going there. I think they're going to show the dragon off. I remember last year.
It's gonna be pricey.
I know they've been talking about a dragon for like the last 4 years. So
yeah, or if not, they may show like a part of a prototype. But I honestly feel they're going to bring something really rich to the table. And if anybody remembers going there last year, they showed off the bear. They had him in the case, and I remember when they were just putting him out as just the display because we were there like the early Thursday before the actual show. You went on Thursday night and you Friday night to get our passes. And this time it's a little different for me because I'm actually setting up there because I will be at the event doing the event with Duarte Studios, as well as I'm going to be helping out at Wade's table a bit if he needs the help. I know I was helping out Wade at DesignerCon last year. But it's going to be a lot of fun because not only am I invested in the event itself, but there's going to be a lot to see, and I've been just shouting out so many people within and that are going to be at the event as well. So what Legion's going to bring to the table, I think that Dragon is going to make an appearance. I think that they're going to probably release another one of these like type of figures. I know they have as well a whole design kit for these guys, so you could actually like redo, like basically take this figure and you could make it into multiple, and not just this one, but pretty much any like night figure that they have.
They've got like a build a character station apparently.
It's a builder night kit, so it's incredible. So you could just mix and match and pop and swap and go bananas. So, but I think the Dragon's going to make an appearance. And I'll be taking a lot of pictures. I'll be posting up a lot of things, guys. So I will keep you all in the loop. If anything, I will add you guys to those pictures and just kind of make sure that we're all in together.
Yeah.
Sure.
I know. I always hate when I'm like, like specifically like Legion's Con, like I'm like, oh man, it's like they're gonna have something cool as an exclusive type of thing there. Yeah. And I'm just like, it was kind of like at PowerCon, what was the one I can't remember what the dude's name is now, but it's just like, I'm glad I got that, even though I know that they re-released it without the like clear head and hands and stuff or whatever. But it's like, usually they've got a really cool extra piece in there, and it's like, it's so cool,
right? And my wallet's just screaming at me, like,
like I'm absolutely terrified that it's I know something's gonna come up and. I'm gonna see it and be like, "Damn it, I want that!"
Like I'm gonna have like serious empty pockets after this event. I mean, my credit cards are just gonna be screaming at me. But like, I'll explain this. Legion's Con is a baby version of Designer Con. If anybody's ever gone to Designer Con, there are multiple independent companies that are gonna be there. You have Savage Crucible, you have Plunderlinks, you have so many other like little independent people as well that are having their own toys. Unparalleled Universe is going to have an Odious figure that he's actually got for the event in limited quantity that will be available. So it's going to be fun. It's just like there's like all these little, and then there's so many creative people that are going to be at the event. Robo's making his first appearance there this weekend. You have Dan from Toy Galaxy. He makes an appearance because he comes down from Massachusetts. With the event being so close to DesignerCon this year, it was hard because I love going to DesignerCon, and now I had to make a choice. But the choice was obvious because I live in Jersey, so I'm right there. But I'm probably gonna crash at the hotel because it's in a venue. It's at the Marriott Hotel. And there's literally a bar restaurant, literally has an Irish pub in the event. And it's just fun because everybody gets to hang out downstairs. 1/6 shooter Trevor will be there hanging out. Steph, who is Detour Customs. C. Jessam with his amazing cloth goods is going to be there. So many people, so many friends. You have Matsu Toy as well as who's going to be there with J-Shot, and they're going to be there for doing their Between Two Sentinels. But we're going to be doing a live together, probably there with several other people like Toy Bro, and who was there with us last year. Simon Toast, who's an amazing photographer, as well as Henrock, who's an amazing photographer. So there's just so many people that you can meet and greet and network with as well. And if anybody is going that's on the stream right now, feel free to come up to me, and I'll be at Duarte Studios table. But feel free, if you want to get to meet somebody, you want to like just feel a little shy about that, come to me and I will introduce you to that person. I will actually bring you right over and be like, hey, this is so-and-so. And that way you can meet and greet these people, because they're just like and I mean, they're celebrities in their own right in the sense, but let me tell you, they're great people, and they're just like you and I. Just come over, and we're so welcoming, as well as everybody. And Legion's Con was so incredible last year because that's the event in itself. It's just people just getting together. The Toy Daddies, Yimbo and Toy Father, and No Chewing. If you haven't met Yimbo, he will give you a bear hug, and he's just one of those great people, and it's so much fun. I can't explain it.
Well,
get there,
unless you're Wade, right? Because Wade's not getting a hug.
So the first thing I told, well, it was so funny because when Yimbo rolled up on him at San Diego, like, you know, it was like they went to give him, he basically gave him a hug, but it wasn't like, it was one of those side little like kind of pounds,
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny because I told him, I was like, hey, no hugging this man, all right, don't hug him. but yeah, Wade's a trip, man, and somebody who I've gotten to know really well throughout the community, and so much that I have a lot of great things to say about that guy, because if you meet him in person, you'll see a different side of Wade, and he's really become like, Wade doesn't have friends. We're all associates and we're all backstabbers, right? But let me tell you, he's a true blue guy. Oh man, you just brought all the goodies from the Sonic. Like, yeah. Go ahead, Ethan. Just bring it out, bro. Bring it out.
I was trying to keep it a little bit like, I don't know what I'm bringing out, right? I always try and go from everywhere. Like, I just saw the Star Wars. It's been a long time since I opened a Star Wars, so I'm like, I want to open some Star Wars.
Hey, yeah. Hey, and then for those people that want to meet Tony, by the way, come out to Minnesota, because you could go to this man's shop and just check out his amazing stuff, and come and see Tony live, because he's an awesome dude, man.
It's true.
So, come over to Minnesota, especially when it's in the February, because we like it cold.
Yeah.
And Tony, you're going to be at the Twin Cities Con
I'll be there on
too,
Sunday,
right? Yeah. So if you're at Twin Cities Con, you're going to be in a panel too, right?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
What's your favorite thing from or what's the thing you're most excited for at Twin Cities Con this year?
I have no idea. So this is my second time going. Normally, I mean, for like the last 5 years, I've worked at a shop. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of always the dedicated, hey, you got to stay behind and do work type of thing. And that's kind of how it works. But it just, it's convenient that it's in my backyard, and we're closed on Sundays, so I'm able to go. But I went last year, and I was only there for maybe like 2.5 hours. So I didn't really get to see everything. So, I'll be able to do the panel and then kind of wander a little bit and see what's what. But
sounds like there's a great lineup of folks that are going to be there too.
Yeah. Well, who are you going to be in the panel with, Tony?
Oh, Dave and this fine gentleman right here.
For instance, like, what was it, San Diego, there was an amazing panel, and it was like Geek Dad Life, and there was Towing Around was there, Kevin, and then the thing is, afterwards it was like there were so many cool YouTubers that we all got a chance to really hang out, and Dave was one of them. Me and Dave were like just shooting the shit, basically, like just hanging out, man.
I wanted to go to San Diego so bad, and it was like a last minute thing for Dave. So, and I was just like, oh yeah, okay, well. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I guess I'm going, and I'm like, oh well, that sucks. Wish I would have known that 6 months ago. I could have prepped and.
Yeah, but he didn't know until the last second. So I mean, I'm
definitely not mad at him or anything like that. But
this is I was going back and forth on if I was going this last year, because we had all this stuff with my family where I was like, I really legitimately do not know.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm gonna go, and I'm like, I so want to go, but I didn't. It was like not until last second that he didn't know that until last second. It was like, poop.
I mean, I'd love to, like, I know that TFCon is apparently going to be in Chicago next year. So, I mean, that might be an interesting one. And, but yeah, like, I'd love to go to San Diego. Obviously, like, San Diego is like the show,
I agree.
I'd still love to go to New York Comic Con. I definitely want to go to Legion's Con, and
where's how far away is Legion's Con from where New York Comic Con is?
New York Comic Con is located on 34th Street in the city at the Jacob Javits Convention Center, which is on the west side. So literally right off the West Side Highway, like right off 10th Avenue, actually, and then one block over is the West Side Highway. But it's really convenient to get to now, especially if you're in New York City, because there's another train that actually can take you literally like a block away from where the entrance is. But so from there, you would jump on the Lincoln Tunnel and you would work your way into Jersey, which would be so quick because from there, I would say 30 minutes, 30-minute drive from literally Jacob Javits Convention Center to Legion's Con would take you about 30 minutes.
Do folks get into like San Diego Comic Con? Everywhere around there is like this is San Diego Comic Con, right? Like the whole basically like for like 10 blocks in any direction, right? Is it for New York Comic Con too?
No, not at all. So this is the difference. Being from New York City as well and growing up in Manhattan, and the fact that I used to live on 39th Street and 9th Avenue, which is literally just a couple of blocks away from where the convention is. But I literally lived right by Times Square at one time. And I remember me and my ex-wife, we used to just get out the house and come down and just literally like get the kids to come down and come bring up the groceries for us. But it was that time period where you could just go anywhere around. But the difference between San Diego is the fact that you have so much going on outside the con that New York doesn't provide. So New York is cool. If you haven't been to New York, you're in New York. So you could go to Times Square, you could do all those things. But the difference is that's always available in New York. Where in San Diego, it's festive. There's something going on that's about the con itself. That's happening right there in the Gaslight District, and then you have so much going on like within the area. So for instance, like that panel that I was just mentioning about Kevin being there from touring around, it was literally like at a library right outside the con. So you had to work your way over to the library and get over to that panel, and it was all these things that you could actually do without having to be like say have a badge to get in.
Oh yeah.
But
some of the most fun stuff to do is like around the convention too. Correct. Some of the like the activations that they do there are just so fun.
Well, I mean, but the actual convention itself, I think the big draw is obviously the big movie panels, you know, when all the celebrities and stuff come out. Like, I think that's the big draw. Otherwise, I mean, when you're talking about San Diego Comic Con, it's just like any other con. It's just filled with vendors and artists and this and that and comic book creators and whatever.
For San Diego,
yeah, San Diego is so much more though outside, and there's
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like inside the actual.
Oh yeah.
Con, you're going to have your Hall H panels with, you know, the next Avengers movie and Robert Downey Jr. and whatever and that type of stuff. That's a huge draw. You know, obviously, you know, they did a big thing for Alien Romulus this year and Deadpool and Wolverine. And, you know, they let the people watch the movies and stuff like that. It was like early release for them. And, you know, like that's a huge draw. But like, that's what I'm saying is like for the rest of the convention inside the convention center, it's just vendors and artists and comic creators. It's just like any other show you've been to, or maybe a little bit more grandiose, but it's still the same thing. It, like you're saying, it's the festivities that are going on out and around because it's kind of like it's San Diego's yearly Super Bowl, basically, you know.
Well, plus they reveal so much more at San Diego than they do at New York Comic Con.
Yeah.
So New York Comic Con, you're getting pretty much the leftovers of what was revealed at San Diego because you're looking at July versus October. So and you're, you know, like that swing of 4 months, 3 months. 3 months later is just like whatever was released in July, you know, they're just gonna kind of have it left over. Don't get me wrong, sometimes they do have some great releases at New York.
There's some companies I think that intentionally like hold off showing everything at San Diego, right?
Well,
NECA always has like a bunch of new stuff that they show off. Like it's still like 60% of what
Yeah.
they showed up at,
Well,
at
the
San
whole
Diego.
reason why they don't show anything off at or New York Comic Con is because Toy Fair is just around the corner too.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Which also takes place in New York. So
Yeah.
What I also realized that at the con is that for people that say you wanted to go, Tony, and you did what say I did last year, I jumped on a plane literally like just before while these guys were out there. I said, I'm missing out. Let me get on a plane. I booked the flight that night, got down there, and met up with the guys. And like next thing you know, I didn't have a pass to get in. And here are the guys, just here, man, get in there, you know. And I had passes for the rest of the whole event because it depends on who you know and what have you. And I was able to get press passes
To
from
be clear,
I won't say who, but yeah, I was able to get in. But what happened this year was the opposite. I was able to get some people in and say, here, man, go in, hang out, and I'm gonna go do this, or I'm gonna do that outside, or I'm gonna go to this other panel. So have a great time. And some of the guys within the community, you know, like they really were appreciated because like myself and so many others were able to help them out as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's my whole thing. I mean, that's like I mean, I really, really, really want to go to Toy Fair. And but the problem is you can't just buy tickets to go to Toy Fair because it's like it's a trade show. So you need to have either press credentials, or you need to be invited, or you need to have a business.
Yeah.
And that sucks, you know.
Well, somebody just mentioned how like there is like things that are happening outside in New York Comic Con, but those are so private, right? Because you got to have all those credentials. Like for instance, Mattel, like for instance, they had a breakfast, right, for Hasbro.
Yeah, you ain't just walking into that.
You're not just walking in.
No.
And
it's like close to just open to press only kind of thing.
Correct. Yeah. So at least with certain people that we know and what have you, you know, we're able to get in there because of the fact that with YouTube and everything else allows us that press and plus they have professional like passes as well. So if you're within the community or you work within the community, you get those professional passes.
That's what I did for Chicago when I went to C2E2 like 2 years ago. I got a professional badge, which is great because then it only cost me $30 versus like 120.
There you go.
I mean, that's a huge bonus.
Yeah, I mean, and with San Diego, if you show your like what have you or you work at, they give them to you. They just send them to you, and next thing you know, you're in that system. So now that you're in the system, you're gonna they're gonna give that to you every single year going forward. As long as you maintain your credibility within what have you as a professional or as a journalist or what have you or press. So yeah, once you're in, you're in.
Which one were you talking about for
San Diego? For San Diego, as well as New York Comic Con as well. So yeah. So the difference with New York Comic Con as well is that when you get your pass in New York Comic Con, I can pretty much show you the difference. So San Diego, you get your name placed right on your lanyard, right? And your name is right on it. And it shows whether you're press or you're an attendee or you're a professional. And those passes, or you're a vendor, basically, they'll show who you are, what you represent. So, but they'll have your name right on it. The difference is in New York Comic Con, they do have names, but it's actually placed at the bottom of that same like pass that they give you, which is a lanyard. It's like a card that everybody else has. So whether you have a 4-day pass or you're a vendor or what have you, that card looks very different. It will have a different color. And if you're doing a Saturday or a Sunday, it'll actually say the date. Or if you have an all-day pass, it'll have the whole thing on there. But it won't say any names unless it's stating that you're press. So the color will actually show that.
So they don't show the names. They just show the color so that they can identify.
Correct. Yeah. And what happens is, let's say you lose your ticket. So, for instance, I'm not going to go through names, but there was a couple of guys that had a couple of issues where they went and all of a sudden security converged on them. And they were like, what the hell? And they were like, and because they were using somebody else's pass. And what happens is if you don't take that pass and like just use it to just so when you check in, when you come into the event, you gotta like basically, what is it?
Scan it in, scan it out.
Scan it in, right?
Yeah.
And once you scan out, if you forgot to scan out and you going back in, all of a sudden, security will converge on you. And what you do is you show ID, and they'll just like no problem. But if you're not, if your name doesn't match that name of that, you're done.
Whoopsie,
And
whoopsie.
sometimes they can actually like not allow you to come back.
Yeah.
Like not just for that con, but for the next one, or as long as they choose to.
Well, and then they'll usually void out that pass too. So
Correct.
whoever's it was can't get back in either.
Can't get back in either. So if they bought 4 passes, all 4 people are done.
Yeah. And to be fair, it's really hard to do that, right? To not scan out, right? So like I don't want to freak anybody out. If they're thinking about going to one of these conventions, right? You go into the convention, it's like it's very difficult to not scan out as you leave. Like it's not like if you're absent-minded on that and you're just like, oh, like they will remind you like you need to scan out. Don't just walk out, because this is big honking machines you got to walk through to do it.
So something I'll share with some people here. I used to work for Gap Inc. Right, and when I worked for Gap Inc., I wanted to go to Toy Fair. So what better way to do it by showing that I'm Gap, right, and I'm a buyer. So what happens is that I decided to use my company, and I went into Toy Fair, and I literally had like all these credentials, and everywhere I went, they were like, "Oh, Gap, hey, come and talk to us." And it was just me running through Toy Fair. But it's just like you can use any basic company name if you wanted to, and they will take you for Toy Fair. So like that doesn't work for San Diego or New York Comic Con. But if you ever wanted to visit Toy Fair, like they switched. They used to be in February. Now it's like changed. But if you ever wanted to do Toy Fair, it's something that you could use as an option. And believe it or not, it works. So
what you're saying theoretically is,
Tony,
you could have your comic shop potentially as a means to get into Toy Fair if you're not.
I just want to go to Toy Fair because that's where they give you all the really cool free stuff.
Sometimes you get gift bags. Yeah, you get gift bags.
As a comic shop owner, you are a buyer. I mean that it's not illogical.
Oh yeah, no.
One thing about Toy Fair was I got a chance to interview Toddy Mack. So it was like Todd McFarlane. And the whole time he stood with me for like a full hour just talking. And I loved it. I was like, wow, he just kept going and just, it was crazy because he was literally showing me pictures on his phone. Like he was literally grabbing it, showing me like, oh, look, I just worked on Spider-Man, and I was like, oh, like
so awesome.
Like, and it was amazing.
This is when we went to the park, and this is when we went to the
But it was so funny because I ran into Dan from Toy Galaxy right after that. And he was like, whew. He was like, Todd's like long-winded, man. And I was like, yeah. But it was the best hour of my life because it was here having a real conversation with somebody who just has a love for what he does and the product and everything.
I was like trying to explain it to my wife the other night, and she doesn't. I mean, like she gets it, but she doesn't get it, but she gets it because my wife's a full-time firefighter. And she has her, like the big name people in the industry that she like looks up to, and she was telling me that she was she went to the Chiefs convention up in Duluth this couple weekends ago, and there was like somebody there and blah, 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 blah. But I was telling her about, I was like, what's so weird is, obviously I'm not like friends with him, but like we're acquainted now and he knows who I am. But it's like I'm trying to explain to her, I'm like, do you understand that the godfather of modern toys knows who I am? And I was telling her, because I was telling her about Dave Vonner, and I'm like that is so absolutely crazy that that this is the life that I'm living now. It's like, this is all the stuff that I mean, like I sit there and I kick myself and I'm like, I don't know why I didn't start doing this stuff sooner, and I like when I was Um, I mean, just anything in this community and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand why I didn't make an attempt sooner to do some of this stuff, but it's, I'm glad that at least I'm not like in my 60s starting to do it. So I've got some longevity left to me.
Close.
I think, I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it was such a big leap, right? Because I mean, for your whole life, you've been in these worlds, right? You've been a part of these worlds. It's like it's just migrates to different things, right? So like it's like, yes, like when we had Round Around, we have like there's so many fantastic folks we've had the ability to talk to, including both of you. I mean, this is always a blast for me, right? So this is like, there's moments where it feels like it's like, what is happening? And there's moments where it's just like, oh yeah, this makes sense. Like I've read every comic that's ever existed. I've played with every figure that I possibly could, right? So like there is like, we are fans at the heart of it all. We're fans, and even the folks we're talking to are also huge fans. So like they live and breathe the same stuff that we do. Right. Yeah. And we're all finding that's what's remarkable. And that's what's incredible about all this is that it's like, I have found more often than not, right, is that like fast friends with everybody because it's like we all have the same things we love and we're all geeking out about the stuff we love.
Exactly. So, it will always like humble me a little bit, just. And I mean, like, we put these people on a pedestal, like, I'll just say, 5 years ago, I mean, and it's crazy, like, how many times now that I've, like, sat down with Shartimus Prime or Robo, and not just like walk up to their table and like talk to them for a minute and then walk away, but like I've become, I don't want to say like friends, but like more than just acquaintances and stuff like that,
Mr. Jones said it well too. Like we're all connected, right?
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we all have a passion for what we have right behind me right here, right? So we love these things, man. And not only that, but it brings back the nostalgia that takes me back to being in that movie theater in '77. And that's what this is all about. Our love for something that's not just about toys. It's a greater thing, especially when you got so many people that are invested in it. And then you're able to meet and hang out with all these people, right? Because I think I tell the story how I used to watch like Dave when Cincy Nerd, right? And Robo used to be, this was the show. It was Grippin and Rippin, right?
Yep.
And I tell the story like 5 years ago, like, wow, I would put it on, it would be my Wednesday thing, right? But yeah, I was pretty much involved in the toy community, but it became even more special, especially like hanging out with Robo back in Toy Fair before the pandemic, and him and my wife just literally like hanging out, like and just like getting to know each other. And before you know it, it's like we're gigging out on NECAs like gremlins. But the idea that we all really are connected in this is incredible. And the thing is, you can run up to Beebs or Robo or anybody or Cincy Nerd, and they're just welcoming. They're and I can't wait to meet a bunch of you at Legions or the next cons, because and I got some goodies. If you guys ever want anything, believe me, get one of these while you can. As well as I have buttons, I have some caps and t-shirts that I'll be giving away too. So
sure, man.
But it's always fun because it's just always giving back to the community that gives to us as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's Andrew. That's it's crazy that I mean, I remember it was probably 7 years ago. Like we did a thing with our local toy group, and Shartimus came out for the show, and we did a whole thing because obviously like Dave had known him, and he was like staying at Dave's place and stuff a few times or whatever. You know, we did the whole thing, and we did like this. It was like a live stream on Facebook, and it was just crazy because it was like never in my years would I ever have thought that I would be doing that. And then that was just hanging out, and just basically it was me and like 5 or 6 of my other friends that are local and Shardamus, and just like it was crazy. And we like sat there and basically like interviewed him, and then you know, it's just wild. And then again, going down to PowerCon, and what I think we need to do is we need to get somebody who can. We just need to make something just called ToyCon, and it's just like all of the companies can come and set up spots, but it's just like literally meant for all the like the live streamers or YouTubers or podcasters and stuff that deal with toys, and everybody it's just like it's like Toy Fair, but not
just for
it's like
does something like that not exist? Is that a thing that it doesn't exist for toy tubers?
I don't know, but I mean that's basically what like San Diego and New York and Toy Fair, that's kind of what those are.
I'm all for it,
but I
I
really would love to just go and.
Well, you would definitely get that if you were coming to Legion's Con, because you got to see what that lobby looks like. It's
I bet
so much fun because, first of all, I become so close with a lot of the guys. I mean, like for instance, just hanging out with Trevor, and for instance, I went to IshCon out in North Carolina this year, and I was able to work with Duarte Studios as well, like heading over there. And once again, I'm hanging out with Trevor, 1/6 shooter, and I'm hanging out with Big Dub, and next thing you know, we have like this whole crew, and we're going to, we're having drinks with The Amazing and all these great people, like, and before you know it, it's like there's a whole crew of us, and we're just talking about figures and action figures, and just like what this is, and it's just fun because we're talking about something that really excites us and just gets us motivated.
I mean, it was like when I was at both C2E2 and PowerCon, there was like 6 of us staying in one hotel room, but I mean, like it was just crazy. It was like it was me and Dave and Robo and Russ and Alex from Mondo Fan Plastic 4 and Veebs, and I mean it was just insane. And I like sat there and I sat back and I go, is this my life now? And not that that's a problem. It's just it's so again it's just humbling to. But I mean, it's like, there's no reason why. It's not like it's Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt, I mean, or something. It's just most people, they'll idolize whatever, blah 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 blah. But it's like, these people are like my idols. These are the people that I wanna be a part of this with them. I don't want to be just some Joe Schmo. I want people to go, I know you.
Well, I think that the fun part too is that there's a mutual respect there, right? Is that we're like, there's the geek out of like, oh my gosh, you're that guy, and they're like, you're that guy, right? I mean, there's the thing is that we we're all talking about, and we're all like, we like hearing what everybody else has to say, and seeing the different viewpoints of the things, like, oh, I never thought, like, that's the thing, like I'll use Robo as an example, right? Every new episode that he puts out, I'm like, I'm there. I'm watching that because he does it in such a way that is, there's humor in there, there's levity in there, there's also just like it's a performance on top of learning about all the new stuff that's coming out. So I'm like, I like this. I will keep watching this. And I think
so it's really crazy, because it's not a character. Like that is Robo.
That's Robo.
Well, I mean,
Robo
that's why,
is the same Robo that you'll see on a weekly, right?
Yeah.
Is the same one who's doing his like his thing, his little skit, and yet when he meets you, he'll look you in the eye and he really pays attention to what anyone is saying around him, and he really appreciates when people just really like show that they really care about him, and it's incredible.
Well, I mean, like, I never in a million years could I have ever been like, so I went to Full Gear, AEW Full Gear, and Robo was sitting next to me the entire time. It's like, it's just so wild.
Robo appreciates the fact that you could just be yourself. Just be yourself, because that's who he is, and he appreciates all that, but he really does, like, he cares about everybody. Do you remember when COPPA was happening, when the YouTube was literally we were all scared because we didn't know if it was going to be a thing where they were going to just cancel us because if you weren't basically subject to making it a children or a child channel or anything dealing with toy related, they were going to basically cancel all of us, right?
Yeah, well, it wasn't necessarily cancel; it was just demonetize everybody.
Well, yeah, we were still,
and that's why everybody had
they were going to raise
and stuff, and
it was like and if not, you were going to get fined. And it was to the point where even Robo, like, if you ever caught that, and it's still available on the Foosh site that he had. And there's that one episode where he really went in during, like, right after a weekly, and he touched on it. We've made friends all over the country. There are people that are coming into Legion's conferences that are coming from Sweden, that are coming from Australia, that are coming from all over the world. And I can't believe, like, I have friends, like I have had friends throughout my life that are all scattered, but the fact that we're all in it for the same thing, we're all like have this passion for these guys, and yet I have friends anywhere and everywhere, and I get invited like just about any country imaginable, and yet it's like, wow. And I remember Robo talking about the fact that like when they were about to take everything away, it was like, wait a minute, like you're taking something that's near and dear now, because we've created this family, really, and this environment. So it's special because now we could look back and we were like, wow, like that almost happened, but yet thank God, because I'm so proud to be a part of this. I really am. And to call myself, well, I was nominated the mayor of this community in that sense, but only because I always wanted to make people get involved. And I remember, like, somebody would walk by and they'd be like, "That's the amazing," and I'd be like, "Darius, come over," and he'd be like, "Hey, this is so and so," and they'd be like, "Wow, oh my God," and but yet, just like anybody else, they're just regular people, and they're willing to really spend some time talking to you and just answering your questions. So please. Feel free, come by and talk to any of us. It's our pleasure. Please.
Yeah, well, and that's I mean, more than anything, I usually do it on my show, but I'm constantly stressing that, like, the world can suck sometimes, and that's why we try to sit here and be as positive as we possibly can. And I will always say, if you're having a horseshit day and you need an impartial ear, somebody that's not going to judge because, I sit next to you at work or something like that, or you see me on a daily basis, you can reach out to me. I'm I can't promise that I'm going to be like super snappy sometimes, depending on the time or where you're watching me from. But man, yeah, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to just, shoot the shit with you and talk about whatever, I'm a great ear. So yeah.
I love that you brought up Dave Honor too. Yeah. Dave, as soon as you brought up Dave, all I could hear him is doing his Transformers bit when he was, if anybody, well, we've all watched it, but the toys that made us, right, on Netflix, and he does the little, and that's I'll always have that part of Dave in my head, and even though Dave was a part of Odious here. He was also part of so Wade actually asked David to be part of like what got Odious made. So he was his mark.
Did Savannah did the noises for Transformers? Is that
no?
Okay,
He just does them in that part of the
he's just sitting there going
the Transformers thing,
just
right?
making like he's just
making the
talking about
sounds, right? He's just
okay.
saying what it meant to him, right? And he was
he's not the official sound effect,
right? So it was like and he literally does the, and he did the whole thing, and the way he does it is perfect. And anybody that hasn't seen it, put it on right now, right after this, because it's special. And Dave Honor's on there, and there's so many great people that are from the community that are on there. Like you have Randy Falk, who's from NECA, and he gets interviewed there as well. He's part of the Star Wars interview. So there's so many people. I remember around the same time at COPPA and a bunch of the YouTubers went on a tear. I mean, there was a whole big thing going on. I mean, the whole dinosaur thing. Do you remember that with Jurassic Jesse as well?
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people fighting for what was going on. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's that was wild. That was crazy. It's so funny too, because I totally I completely forgot all about that until you
I remember it. It's near and dear.
I remember
it's a scar.
At the time it was nerve-wracking, right?
Yeah. For sure. Well, I mean, bad. and then it even boiled down to there was a bill too or something that came down about basically throttling back the internet on people and stuff or it was something.
Yeah, I remember that.
So they would fine you if you and it would be like a first offense, and then there was a second, and then there was the third, and literally it was in the $100,000 process.
It was crazy.
If you
for everyday YouTuber, that's like what now?
Right. And luckily because there were a lot of creepy people doing a lot of creepy things, right, on YouTube, and that with children. So if you knew you could focus on getting that child to kind of watch your stuff, there were a lot of creepy people doing the wrong thing. So it was we're adults collecting action figures, but it's more than that, because we're collecting adult, more stated, for action figures, because this is not your typical figure that you're gonna play with or some kids just randomly. Yes, you can, and it's definitely playable for any age, but the idea that it's got more to it, and we put a little more love, whether it's painting or adding that, to make it our own. So because I love spending time just customizing stuff as well. So I've been doing helping out when I could with Duarte Studios as well, because if you're at Legions and when you see some of these photos, you're gonna see some great artists as well, like C. Jessam with his clothing, soft goods, and so many other artists that are going to be there.
Nuts.
Yeah, exactly. But just to see everybody contribute to that and add their little spice of what have you. And Lone Wolf Labs, he's always pushing stuff out and for great prices as well. But if for those people that really want a lot of quality, there's so many great people that will be there. So that's why it's a mini version of DesignerCon, because it's not just all dedicated to Legions. It's dedicated to the collector, because
Yeah.
you're getting soft goods. You see, he has like literally like if you need a rug for like a diorama, he's got that. He's got the little Persian rugs, and then he has little glass bottles that actually have like all this little stuff that you could just keep adding to. And then you have people like Super Action Stuff, which I still have stuff for the giveaway, and so yeah, we're gonna be giving away some of that stuff. Man, it's endless. So when you go, if you got a chance, if you're not able to make it this year, I advise to definitely go, because it's not about Legions. It's Legions Con, but there's more to it.
How hard is it to get into compared to some of those other conventions, right? So like
It's-
San Diego is
The
hard.
tickets are very so the weekend pass was already sold out. If
Okay.
you want to be a part of Legions itself, like if you wanted to be what's called an intern, they have an opportunity for the interns to actually make it in there. And I know Josh Brown was trying to get in there for an intern this year, but Josh will be there this year for his first time, and it's going to be great just hanging out with Josh, because he's bringing some goodies over there as well. And the fact that Josh was so amazing during PowerCon, because he took so many great photos and allowed us to, like for myself, I didn't get a chance to go to PowerCon. So it was one of the main events that I felt like I missed. I felt like I was at all of them except for that one. And I was like, dang it, like I want to be a part of that. So like, hopefully all goes well. I'll be heading to Japan in April. So I'll be at Star Wars celebration.
I'll
So
have a list of things for you to pick up for me.
I'll be sending box loads of stuff from Japan. You know that already. It's on like a lot of Bandai.
Everything is going to be Godzilla.
So bring it. But yeah. So that's the thing.
Oh no, Geeky!
You got so much.
Froze.
Yeah, Geeky just like, hey. But if you guys get a chance, like definitely like there is a huge difference within Legions and DesignerCon, but it is a mini version of it because of all the people that are going to be there. But
yeah, I think that's something that me and Dave are going to potentially look into for next year.
Got to do it.
Because I feel like it would be a good one to go to.
Yeah, Geeky is definitely yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's still hanging in there. I'm sure he could hear us.
We'll just pop him out for now. If he comes back, we'll. Oh wait,
there is.
There we go. Okay, I got kicked out for him.
Apparently, you're on here twice.
Yeah, good. Get one of them out of there, because otherwise it's just going to be me echoing.
I don't know how to.
Yeah, I know there's no PowerCon right now. I'm going forward, but man, like Josh brought some love to that PowerCon. Like he showed us so many great pictures from that I remember me and Yimbo were like, I'm gonna get something for Josh. I'm gonna give him a gift, man. I gotta gift him. And what we did was we brought him these actually up here, which was the box sets that were only available for at Legions Con. So I got him one, and then I got him one, and then I think I would got him this one, and then what happened was Yimbo got him that one, and then I sent everything out to him, and it was great. Yeah, because and mind you, I've never met Josh Brown in my life, yet what he brings to the community and just all the what he's brought to the table, I had to just say, hey man, I got you. Like I need to get you something.
Well, I mean, and that's the thing too. It's just kind of like, it's been my experience where it's kind of just like, these are friends you don't know that you have yet, right? Where it's like it's like this. It's so much where it's just like, this is a conversation that should have been happening for years, but I didn't know that we were supposed to be having this conversation yet.
Oh, I had never met Wade in person, right? But I remember when I went to San Diego the first time, and we finally got a chance to meet up. And of course, he's looking out for me. He's doing all this thing for me. And I remember how MCU Collector, as well as Art with Toys, like, man, it was like meeting a family member that like lived in Italy, and then you finally get a chance to meet them and they embrace you. That was the embrace. It was truly like finding a brother, like out there, and recognizing it, and you stay in contact. But then when you finally meet, there's like that special moment. So yeah,
it reminds me a little bit of, like, I don't know, in my head what kind of goes through is like Malkovich. You know, it's like you from different different levels, or that you're here and you're like, you know, like it's just
oh yeah. That's the thing with going to the conventions and then also being a part of that, and then you're, you know, I've always tried to be the icebreaker, and I guess that's when people start calling me the mayor. They were like, you know, like, oh my God, you're the mayor. Like, everybody knows you. And every time I would go somewhere, it would be like, hey, oh, did you meet so and so? Let me introduce you. Like, oh, you want to meet Euler Workshop? Oh, hey, Jordan, come here. Like, let me introduce you so and so. And it was like, yeah, because people, they see, oh, is that Euler Workshop? Oh my God, I love him, and he is an incredible person, and people have to meet people like that, because they give back so much to the community. And if you meet these people, they really are like really giving back, and just like feed off their brain, like, oh well, how did you do that piece? And they're like an open book, man. They're willing to give you that info.
Well, yeah, and folks are so receptive too, right? Yeah. I mean, it's like, because we're all, it's like, to be in these worlds, there's a proclivity for being like, you know, it's like for wanting to be creative, for appreciating the creative, and so it's just kind of like, you know, there's a receptiveness to that, to be like, because we all grew up in this, and a lot of this stuff too, and if we didn't grow up in the specific thing, in terms of like a lot of the new, you know, the original lines and stuff, there is an inherent background to that, where it's like, this was also my childhood. This is also what came into inspiration for what I'm creating now. So also I was like imagining this interaction that you were just describing with the, like, you as the toy mayor, right? And it's just, you know, like, you're like, that's how they came to know me as toy mayor. And I just imagine you like in the background be like, they say he's the toy mayor.
So, for instance, like, this is a Hello There Toys t-shirt, and that is Dom. Dom had given me, I was like, oh, I need one of those. And what does he do? He literally places this on the sleeve. So thank you, Dom. I appreciate that, Toy Mayor. And he even made sure that it had the lettering of my actual logo. So, and which is neat. So, but man, I owe a lot of thanks. And I think this actually came from Toy Gaines. Toy Gaines would come by the shows and literally would be like, man, you're like, everybody knows you, man. And it was like, before you know it, he just kept calling me the mayor for like years. And everywhere would I go, he'd be like, the mayor's here. And it stuck because everybody started calling me the mayor. And I always felt the true mayor of this community was D. Blake. D. Blake Makes, because he became a good friend. Because when I started kind of coming around, it was like, D. Blake was like, hey man, yeah, you want to get some stuff, get rid of some stuff, here, put it by my table. And it started rolling like that. He was selling his stuff, and before you know it, D. Blake was like, you know, became like amazingly close. And the fact that we live here in Jersey as well, and the fact that we you know, he got me into the toy shows. But before that, I was always at the cons, or I'll be at a toy fair, or I would run into the guys, you know, and little by little, it was like it was like I already knew a bunch of people, but then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, it was I was everywhere, it seemed. And before you know it, that's how I just became more popular, I guess, within the community. But I've always tried to be loyal to those people that I've been a part of as well. Like, I think that's the whole thing. That Wade has his knife, the backstabbers, but the idea was, if you're loyal to that group and you're loyal to the people that you've been around, then before you know it, you're somebody that's of quality, and they feel like, you know, like you bring more to the table. So
what is the backstabbers thing? I don't know.
So part of the Tuesday crew, which I've been part of from like day one, basically, was the fact that Wade would bring up the backstabbers, right? So it was he was like, I don't have friends, I have associates. Like, I know you guys, but for me, you guys are all could be backstabbers. And the next thing you know, we started putting out little knives, and it turned into this knives thing. So it was like Knives Out. So the Knives Out became this bit of, well, we're not your friend, we're backstabbers, so it Knives Out. So the whole Knives Out thing became this thing, and it flowed within his thing of Odious, and we began to appreciate Odious for what Wade created, and then it became a wave that turned into him creating everything, and then him getting with Kevin Garcia, who was K-Gart on, and Kevin created the body mold for Odious, and before you know it, he designed that, and then he got with Dave Vonner to do the productive design to get the figure, like within getting it done at the companies, and before you know it, we he had this whole little army, and then we were the group that were helping support it, because we felt like Odious was a part of us as well, so we were like behind it. And when Odious funded, I remember hitting up Wade, and I like messaged him right away, and I was like, man, it feels like we just won the World Series. And he was like, man, Rick just told me the same thing, man. And then it was like, but really felt that way because of the love and the sweat and the blood and tears that we put into it, as well as he put in everything, as much as I can say that we put in blood, sweat, and tears. But I felt that we really did, because there was so much other work that went behind the scenes. Like for me, it was like the way I helped Brandon like support his project with 9 to 5 Toys. It's like every day I was just posting, and we were shooting for this, and when you get behind something, you rally behind it, and you want them. And there you go, Tony. And it was and knowing Brandon personally is also the key, but it's the fact that you end up truly having that thing that you built together, and that's where I felt like the Odious and 9 to 5 Toys and all these guys that we really helped push, whether it's the Monstars or anything out there that when you get behind somebody.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, that's what I was just kind of like, it's the most meaningful to me in the fact that it's just like, we as a toy community too, right? It's like whenever we see these, it's just like, we made this, right? It's like, yes, there's a collaboration of all the creatives that came together, and which is a beautiful thing to see. It's also the community, right? We have brought something from the creative into the nether, right? It's out there, and it's us. It's something new for us to be able to interact with, and it's just such a really fun time to be able to have that and be part of the conversation in any level of things, right? And it's just I don't know, it's a fun thing to be a part of, and it's a fun thing to see, and there's a lot of exciting. It's a lot of excitement, right? It's like
right when you see something come into existence, right, for the first time, it's like having a child. I mean, I'm a father, and and my kids were like,
it's better
everything
than
changed. It was like, it was when my kid came into the earth, that was my creation, that's and my baby, and yet now that they're having kids of their own, it's even better, because now it's a legacy. It's something even more special, because now I get to see my grandchildren, like, and seeing them, begin to come of age, and seeing my grandson turn 90, like not so long ago. But when this guy came into existence, it was a true love affair, because we never thought this would come into existence. So was this going to be a reality, or was this going to be something where it was just the head sculpt, and then we got those, and then it was like, man, I really want this to happen. I want to have my own figure, and right, don't we all want to have something made like that? Like we want to have something that we could say, we left behind, and it's ours, right? But I really truly feel like my name is on this, but let me tell you, man, there's something about the fact that I saw this come in to play from day one and saw it all the way to the end, makes it that much more special.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a wonderful thing, and it's one of those things where I don't know. You're talking about like the this is
Yeah,
something
like Brandon, right? When Brandon's on our show, right? Or he's came on here and we've talked to him, and he was on the marathon as well, and like you see his enthusiasm, right? It's genuine. It's so genuine. I mean, like I remember when we met in California, and he picked me up at the airport, and we just talked on the drive back to the hotel to the convention area, and he was just like so enthusiastic about what he was bringing, and then we talked about other people's stuff, and then we talked about like what Duarte was doing and how that diorama but the true passion and that enthusiasm just drives you to want to create and do something or help in any way you can, because when you see it succeed, it's like you are part of it, and just that overall like balance just brings me like beyond other joy. And how many things can you say that in life that bring you joy? That brings me joy, because we could collect till the all we could buy as many figures and surround ourselves with everything, but does it bring total joy?
No,
I mean, it's happiness, but at the same time there's something about bringing something to life that we didn't expect, that now it's like, whoa, it's like you are part of that. Yeah, right. It is.
Wise sage words from the mayor himself.
Thanks, guys. No, for real.
Man, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
And I realized that was very well said, by the way.
Thank you. Wow.
I just like looked up and I'm like, oh,
I'm not reading from anything. There's like, I was. So it says here. No, that's coming from the heart, and I really truly feel that we that's what this is about, and that's what
100%.
Going to Legion's Con and going to San Diego is about. I have more fun, and there's something about hanging out with the guys. Like the stories that me and Dave have, of meeting up at the YouTuber rally, and then we met up later on at the bar where we had everybody there, and Russ was there, Chartemis, and we're all just hanging out, and we're all just having a blast, and me and Adam Van Wickler are just like goofing on the ACBA crew, and before you know, it's like, man, that's what that's about. It's about the community, and it's about the passion that we all have toward it, and the fact that no drama. There was no drama, and there was no drama at Legion's Con last year, where even the hotel was a little skeptical. They were like, "Whoa, like these guys look a little rough." No, it was all love, man, and people were just blown away because we were in the lobby for hours. We were there 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and people were like, "Wow, these guys are incredible." And that we got all these compliments from the hotel staff and the management that were just like, wow, you guys, you're welcome to come back here. And that's exactly what happened. So Jeremy and Joe and Viteri, they made it happen, and now we're back there. And so it's awesome, because Joe is also Viteri, who does Legion's Con and also does the Wayne show here in Jersey, is a big part of that. And lots of Joe, and Joe has become such a he's like family now. It's like I already know what his coffee is, meaning like, hey, and like we meet up every morning, and boom, and it's like it's one big family out here.
Yeah, nice.
That sounds fun. I'm gonna have to get out there.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, but this is.
We got a year to plan, man.
Yeah. It sounds like it'll be a blast. So, I need to get my kids to bed because I'm realizing it is.
Yeah, I didn't realize we already got over the 2-hour mark.
But go to bed.
Well, welcome to the follow-up.
Good
marathon.
times, guys. Yeah. Thank you for allowing me to open up tonight. Thanks.
I mean, it's. At this point in time, I don't think there's any reason for you to thank us. I feel like you are now the official fourth for Grippin and Rippin. So
thanks, man.
I don't think you need to any sort of thanks for that. So we're more than happy to have you here, and You know,
Thanks, man.
gotta,
That's what it's all about too. I mean, you know, I mean,
Exactly.
this is sharing stories, sharing love for our passions and
Yeah.
the community,
Exactly.
the awesome community that we have here. So
No,
Because let's be
looking
real.
forward to
I mean, we sit here and it takes us like 4 minutes to open all of our stuff. Of course, we're gonna have.
I'm a little
conversations after
little
that.
less dexterous, but like
I'm just
4
impatient.
minutes.
So,
no.
all right, everybody.
Thanks everybody on the chat. We truly appreciate every one of you guys for
Yes.
hanging out this late as well. Yeah.
Yes, and you know the drill. All the stuff is I'm guessing is in the links in the descriptions below. If you were looking to donate for Extra Life, we still got a couple of weeks left or months, whatever. I don't remember how much time exactly, but we've still got some time. We're still working on that.
Over the $10,000 mark, man.
Yeah,
Hell
right. Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't know.
That's fantastic.
I wasn't here for it. I don't know who it was, but I would like to personally thank whoever that person was that dropped that $1,800 donation right at the end. That is amazing.
Phenomenal.
You are
Was
selfless, and that is outstanding.
For
So,
real. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, I wish I could be like and turn everything off, but it doesn't work that way. So, yeah. So we'll catch you guys next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow night on Griff Riffs.
I'll see you guys.
Oh, see, why is yours doing that? Mine doesn't do
I know,
that
right? Did you
anymore.
see
What,
that?
whose was doing it? Mine wasn't doing it, right?
Just mine. I don't know why.
Mine used to do that and then stopped doing it. So I don't know. All right. Good night, everybody.
Take care, everyone.